Hello everybody, how are you doing this morning? It is Saturday morning, almost 10 o'clock, about 10 till 10, and I'm in the shop, and I think I have all day in the shop today. My son has he's in a play, and they have play practice today, but that's pretty much about 5 minutes from here. We drop him off, he's there for 2.5 hours, and we pick him up, so really, that is not a huge issue at all. What I'm going to work on today, I'm going to start off on my cart. It's over here behind the camera now. I'm going to work on that a little more, see how far I can get on that. I also have this pin over on the lathe I showed you the other day from the USS North Carolina, that piece of teak that the CA glue did not want to stick to. But that's kind of on hold because I talked with Carl Jacobson, suggested you guys will hear about this in a couple days, but I got invited to be a guest on the Wood Turners Anonymous podcast. They did a pin turning episode, and we got to talking about CA finishes, and we were talking about how it kind of makes the wood look plasticky, and we all kind of really like that wood look, but on a pin you really need something to protect the pin from oils in your hand and that type of thing. And I made a comment that I had been looking at and reading about using boiled linseed oil. You basically take your wood while it's raw, after it's been sanded, and put your boiled linseed on it, let it cure, and then you cover that with CA. And that seems to be something that a lot of turners are doing these days. It's supposed to really bring out the richness in the wood, the colors and the grain, and then the CA just protects it, so it's supposed to give it a nicer finish. Well, then Carl said, well, what about using that on that teak pin you're working on? And it just sort of stopped me in my tracks because, it's funny when something so simple is right in front of you and you don't even think of it. So I'm going to take his advice. I'm going to get some boiled linseed oil. And that's why I'm not working on that, because I want to get the cart to the point where it's ready for the plywood, because I got to get my trailer off the wall, and I'm going to run up the big box. I'm going to pick up the plywood, and while I'm there, I'm going to pick up the boiled linseed oil. So once I get to that point and get the cart finished, because it'll just be the cuts just to make the shelves, then I'm going to attempt that. So that should be fun. But I also have something else I got to work on today. And I don't know how, well, I got probably 10 things I need to work on today. I'm trying to prioritize a little bit. But let me show you. I went to my folks' house yesterday. I took the day off work. My kids were on fall break from school. And we went up to my mom and dad's house. And a while back when I was at Lynn Lacey's place down in Texas, he gave this to me. And my son and I drove back to my mom and dad's house and spent the night and visited my folks. And then he left. I stayed a couple days to go to the car show. My wife came back through from Gatlinburg, so her trunk was full and I had to leave this at Dad's house. We went up yesterday for a visit and we had an empty trunk. So I got a chance to bring it home. Let me show this to you. Get some of this plastic off with it. It is an air cleaner for the shop. Look at that. Lynn got a new one. There's nothing wrong with this one. He just wanted a different one. I think the new one's maybe a little quieter, but he gave that to me. So it's been at Mom and Dad's since I went to Texas, which I can't even tell you how many months ago that was. I'm going to get that into the shop. I'm going to hang it under the loft somewhere. I was talking with my dad. My dad is an Amazon Prime member, and I can buy the filters for that on Amazon. I think they're about $46, and with Prime, I can have them shipped for free. So I'm just going to PayPal the money to my dad's account, let him place the order. I'll email him or text him the link, and it should show up a few days later. I think it's a couple of days shipping on Prime, and I'll plug it in. I'm going to go ahead and get it hung first. He left all the chains and everything on there for me, so really, I just need to put some hooks in the ceiling, but I got to dig through my little cabinets and see if I have any. If not, I'll pick those up at the big box too when I go to get the plywood. So I've got a couple things to work on. I'd also love this weekend to work on my pressure pot. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. Time is just, I've got too many things to do. I want to get so much done, but I'm going to hang up for a minute from you guys. I'm going to go work on this cart. Actually, I'm going to get that out of my wife's car in case she needs to haul anything today. I'm going to start working on my cart, and then I'll keep you guys posted throughout the day. Guys, I've made a little bit of progress. I'm happy so far. Let me show you what I've got. This is a side view. Let me pull around to the front. You can see the slats. These are where the 2x2 sheets of plywood will slide in. Each one is from the bottom of one to the top of the other, 3 3/4 inches, which lets me space out 8 of them perfectly. There'll be nothing on the top, so I can pull one out, put it on the top. When I want to put it away, I don't have to worry about a switching game. I can just slide it back into its slot and put the next one up there. On the back of this, I need to cut a couple of more slats. I just ran out. I mounted this board here. It's a nice steady surface. there will be boards going from here to the bottom so that my plywood can slide against them and stop. But this will all be an open area right up here, so I can put tools up here, mount things up here, whatever I need to do. It'll just be a place to keep kind of some tools together. Like I said, it's just made out of pallet wood, so it's not very attractive. It's like, 10 different colors, because the wood is all different species, but I don't really care about that. I've got $8 in the wheels, maybe $1 in the nails. The pallets were free. I'm sorry, $1 in the screws. The pallets were free. I'm gonna have to buy 1 sheet of plywood, and it's gonna be nice. I am gonna, as soon as I'm done, I'm just gonna take my palm sander and just run over the whole thing, take any little splintery areas off. There's a couple of spots, where you drill and it kind of frays out. Just clean those up. But all in all, I think it's gonna be a huge addition to the shop, and I'm really looking forward to using it. I may even take some time tonight and clean the shop a little bit and move a bunch of stuff onto it if I get my plywood today, just so I've got, the shop starts looking better. With that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get back on it, cut the other, I need 1, 2, 3, I need 8 more slats. So I'm gonna cut a couple of 2x4s up, get that done, and then we'll think about going to get our plywood. And I need to take a little break and cut my grass. I had my yard aerated and seeded a week and a half ago, and the guy that did it told me to wait as long as possible before cutting it. Well, it's been raining like crazy, so that was real easy to do, but now I've got grass that's probably 8 inches tall, and it's really, I'd like to wait longer, but I don't think I can. With just a standard mower, I don't have an industrial mower like, these guys use that, do the yards. With just a standard push mower, I need to probably get on it and go ahead and get it done. So I think I'm gonna take a break when I come back with the plywood, do that, and then we'll cut the plywood up, clean the shop up, and see what kind of time is left for any of the other projects we got going on. All right, I'll be back in touch. Well, guys, I want to show you where I'm at. I made great progress today. Here it is. It's ready to go. I'm actually just got my trailer down. I'm going to go get a 4x8 sheet of 1/2 inch plywood, but you can see I'll lay a sheet on the bottom, and then there are 7 rungs up to here. So I'll have 8 2x2 sheets, and then the top section is set to where one can slide in. And of course, I got the lip to keep it from moving. The wheels are lockable. It rolls around quite nicely. Got a large area in the back here that I can use for whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I did mention in the earlier video that when I put one on top, it will hang over to here, yet the others will go all the way back to here. That way there's an open area up front, and I'm not bumping knees into that when I'm working. So I think that's going to work out just nice. It's not pretty because that pallet wood is every color under the sun, but I really think this is going to be a huge help. So I'm going to go in and have a bite to eat for lunch, and then I'm going to run up to the hardware store, get the plywood. I got a couple other odds and ends to do, or odds and ends to pick up. We'll get the plywood cut, slid in there. I'll show it to you one more time. Then I got to take a break and get my grass cut before I do anything else. So I'll be back in touch with you guys shortly. Well, I'm back with my plywood. I did not buy top grade. I bought 1 grade down, so you'll see it does have a few minor flaws in it, repairs I guess they call them, right from the factory. But the thing is, I'll run the sander over it, I'll smooth it out. But I really feel like for just glue ups and for me just basically storing blanks and projects on it, it's gonna be perfect. I think it was $24.95 for the sheet, plus tax. So I'm pretty happy with that. I need to get it ripped down into 2 foot by 2 foot sections. But I've got the trailer right here. I'm sitting on the side of the trailer, and I got to get that put up, and then we're gonna get the grass cut. So that'll be later tonight. I'll keep you guys posted. Well, it's been a long day. I got my maker cart, that's what I'm calling it, completely done. I went ahead and took a break, got the grass cut, and then before I did that, I went and got some plywood, and there you go. That's it. I've got the shelves that I can pull out. I can set up on top. This is exactly the same height as my counter and cabinets. So it makes for a great work surface. When I'm finished working on something, I can pull it back out, slide it under, and it's out of the way, stored away. Glue can be drying. I can pull another shelf out, and I've got another 4 square feet of work area. So I'm really excited to have this done. Now I'm going to take a little time, and I'm going to start unloading my cabinet and putting my pen blanks and everything else I've been working on this cabinet, or on this cart. That's going to free up a ton of space in my shop and hopefully lead to some more organization. Listen, guys, I've had enough for tonight. I'm bushed. I'm just going to kind of pick up a little bit, and then I'm calling it an evening. It is about 7:30. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again real soon.